Good evening, good night, and good morning. Whatever it is where you are more than welcome. Today is Saturday, at least for me, uh, July 17th. And as always, no politics, please. This is the Brew Crew episode 11. That's ah, brightest day. Hello, how are you today? Uh, that's a Stazzy countdown. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I meticulously picked out the music for the countdown. That took me a while, and I will say it's a cheat. I did use the original timer that I used from the Morning Brew. It's just got different music to it. And Aberjam UK, not too much. I'll be quite honest. At midnight, I'm surprised you're awake. So, what's going on? Uh, quite honestly, I'm a little surprised that there are as many people as there are in here. I know that there are a few people streaming right now, and I do appreciate all of the support. It does mean a lot. All the interactions help. If you can, go ahead and send this out on social media. If you're on, Twitter, Discord, anything like that, feel free. Um, People have other places to be, other things to do, and that's great. Um, but let's let people know that we're there. And I am going to actually put the link in the chat right now. I was about ready to do that, Aberjam, and I could personally send it to you if you'd like. Um, and here we go. There is the link in the chat. The only difference you find between here and the morning brew typically is well, first of all, uh, Brew Crew is subscriber only. So if you want to participate in the conversation, you'll need to be a subscriber for at least a minute. I set a low limit, so it's not no big deal. Um, and the other thing is, we're going to be more topical based on Brew Crew than we are on Morning Brew. Um, so while while it is going to be a free flowing conversation, uh, similar in style, it will have more of a set topic. And let me go ahead and get to Aberjam real quick. There we go. And some link there. And I hope you got the information I sent you before, but that was, hell, that was about 17 days ago. So, anyhow, I went ahead and sent you the link there as well. Um, and please, if you have a topic of conversation that you would like to uh, ask for at a particularly, that you want to talk about, but may or may not feel comfortable talking about other places, go ahead and suggest that in the comment section below after this goes live. When we're done, you can go ahead, leave a comment, say, hey, I want to talk about fill in the blank. And we'll talk about it on an upcoming show. And here we have ever sweaty bollocks, I think. Yeah, I guess correctly.
Yes, you did. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised myself that I'm up at midnight, but it's 75 degrees and it's clammier than Olympic weightlifter's butt crack. So here I am.
And let's see here. And good evening, Tim Possible. How are you? Loki talk. Well, no. Uh, I mean, we can talk about different things, but right now, the topic I'm more focused on is community. There are a lot of people that are out there that are talking about community and that are uh, doing things that aren't necessarily community friendly. I admit I have done the same. Um, and I'm going to make amends where I can. Uh, there have been people that I feel have eh, wronged me, and I'm not going to expect them to apologize, but I'm not going to apologize to them either. But I think um, if we're going to have a spirit of community, we need to have mutual understanding and respect. It doesn't mean you necessarily like people. You just respect them enough to leave them alone if you don't like them. What do you think, Abertram?
Well, anyone words Nicholson, can't we all just get along?
and Brightest Day, you are more than welcome to come up. There is no, well, let's put it this way. Someone I considered a friend, someone who I co-hosted with several times on different streams. Um, basically told me before, if you talk to this other person, I won't talk to you. Now, months before that, we had a different conversation. Similar topic. Somebody else did the same thing to that person. I said, and I quote, if anyone tells me it's you, it's me or them, that's the person I'm not going to choose. So, yeah, I had to make that choice and I had to keep my promise. It's like, no, I'm, you know, I, I don't think that we should be putting each other into those positions. Because just because I don't like so and so doesn't mean you shouldn't. But if I tell you, don't listen to so and so, you know what you ought to do? Listen to so and so. Why? Because I have no right to tell you who to listen to. Now, I'll suggest people for you to listen to, but I'm not going to tell you who not to listen to. That's not me.
When someone gives you an ultimatum, it's not they're making a choice.
Yeah.
You know, they're basically what they're saying to you is, I don't want to talk to you. What they're essentially saying, or I don't want to do the thing that you're doing. They're not really saying, they're saying I don't want to have anything to do. So, and I leave that with that. If someone gives me an ultimatum, Um, I'll let them know. Look, if you don't want to have anything, or if you want to talk to me or come on this trip or whatever, that's entirely your choice. And if you go away hating me, fine. You always come back. It's their issue. It's not my issue. I ain't gonna hate them
Mm-hmm.
for it. I'm not gonna have them. That's I generally I live my life unless I know that I'm wrong side of something. Uh, when somebody comes at me with any kind of criticism or ultimatum or anything of that nature, I just recognize the fact that it's their issue. It's not my issue. I leave it with them and let them deal with it. Like I said, there's a kind of truth in what they're saying, and there's something I genuinely feel I need to address from what they've raised. Then yeah, I'll address it. Otherwise, you've got to recognize when someone's issue is their issue.
Yeah. And I mean, it's, I'm not going to say it's easy. There are people I've had to say, I'm sorry, I can't deal with you. I cannot deal with you. Um, in fact, one person, I will say this, I was trying to mend fences. I was trying to settle things, not trying to open the door again, just trying to get things smoothed out so they weren't quite as god awful. Messages I sent, everything I said was attacked. So I sent a message back, and I said, I think you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not wanting any problems. Again, replied back, attack. So I wrote one last time, and I said, look, I'm sorry about this. I understand. Had our issues in the past. I was just trying to work things out. I just wanted to, try to make things not as difficult. And at that point, they said, and they blocked me. That's fine. I have no problem with that. That was their choice. So yeah, you want to be, you want to be a part of the community. Great, wonderful. But at the same time, you know, we don't all like listening to the same people. Some people like listening to Doomcock. Some people like listening to Neurotic. Some people like listening to Bird. Some people like listening to, name, can fill in the blank. Okay, it doesn't mean we all do. Um, the point being that as long as we are, as a community, supporting each other, saying, okay, great, you listen to the people you like, you listen to the people that you're interested in, who you feel support how you feel, you think, you know, um, right, that's awesome. That's what you need. Okay. Then there are other channels that will, you know, if you prefer them, go to those. Great. Wonderful. But don't, don't go knocking other channels is all I'm going to say. And I'm going to take something out of the description of my videos from now on that has been there. And I did it intentionally because this person pissed me off.
I think situations like that, in particular, the one you're talking about, really, there's there's two options you can take. I mean, well, there's multiple. But ideally, there are two options to take. One,
Hmm.
just remove yourself because you consider it, an issue to your own personal mental health, well-being, safety, whatever, and just remove yourself from that situation. You don't have to make a sing and dance and bring out
Right.
ultimatums and say, "Look, I'll talk to you, but only if you stop doing this, or talking to that person, or watching this thing." Just if you feel there's a problem that someone's presenting to you in terms of your well-being, just remove yourself. Just say, "Look, I'm sorry. Um, this isn't a great situation for me. I'm not equipped to handle it, so I'm just going to go." The other thing to do is just say, "Well, look, that's fine if you want to be like that. That's your prerogative. It's not really for me, but the door's open. If you want to step through it anytime, feel free."
Hmm.
Those are your two ideals. There are plenty of other routes you can take. Most of those I consider to be very destructive and counterproductive and, unnecessary, for the most part.
See, okay, and hey, Darth Hester and the Bosco scenario. What happened is not important. That's the point. You know, um, there are, like I said, I'm wanting to support community. That means Darth Hester. I want people going over to your channel. I want people to go over to, Brightest Day or the Bosco scenario or, Abertram didn't do videos now, but when he did and when he does again, I want you to go watch them. Impossible,
People are
same
still free to
thing.
go and watch
And
my
yes, you can
old
still
videos
watch
if
his
you
old
want.
videos, you know. Um, but that's community. That's community, where we can support each other. And I'm not going to say, oh, by the way, don't post this person's channel because I don't like that channel. No, that's not supporting community. That's not supporting community. And that's what I do want to do. From now on,
Human,
that's it. If I like them or not, if people want to talk about it, go for it. We'll post the link in the chat. Feel free to go there if you like. Have fun. Seriously. Go ahead, Abercrombie. You're going to say something.
yeah, the human race is a profoundly irrational and primatalistic thing. I've always found it kind of fascinating, slightly disheartening, and very odd. Um, this whole mentality of we seem to place self worth into other people agreeing with us or liking the same things that we like. Now having things in common, having likes and interests in common is a great way of bonding, but
Mm-hmm.
the lack of that commonality is not in my eyes a reason to hate or dislike someone. It's not a black or white thing. it's,
No.
it's having something in common and not having something in common and not actually polar opposites. And there are plenty of nerds in our community who, like me, for instance, love Babylon 5 and that hold it in higher esteem than, say, DS9. And
Mm-hmm.
there are nerds who think the opposite, and there are nerds who like both equally and dislike both equally. But it's not a cause for us to fight, and we don't fight over things like that. And when you look at the broader spectrum of people as a whole, it seems to be a very common trait, like you were saying. Oh, you watch that channel? Oh, you're a scumbag. I hate you. What? Why? Because I watch a channel that you don't particularly like. There are other things that I have in my life that you probably have the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean, that'd be
why
like
is it
saying,
people?
okay, I like Tim Possible. I'm going to say that up front. But if I said, okay, now I don't like Tim Possible, and if you go to his channel, I don't want to associate with you. But I do like impossible. But if I said that to you, I think that's wrong. It
Yeah,
just doesn't make sense.
it's tribalism. A lot of it is tribalism. A lot of it is, like I say, trying to find self worth in um, having our opinions and so validated or liked. You know, my ground zero, if you like, is I have my opinion and I validate myself, and people can agree with it or disagree with it. And if 100% of people disagree with it, well, that's a pretty sad state of affairs. But I still don't need their approval for me to be confident in my opinion. You know,
Right.
if I say that um, dropping a stone from the if I go stone out a story window, it's going to fall to the floor, and everybody else around me says no, the stone's not going to fall, then it's not going to change my mind. You know, if I'm the one guy that's right out of 1,000, I'll deal with that. And if on occasion I'm one guy out of 1,000 that's wrong, I'll deal with that too. And if it becomes self-evident, I'll correct it. But it doesn't. I don't require that validation
Yeah.
to feel self-worth. You know, I'm either right or I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll figure it out and I'll correct it. Doesn't mean that I have no value as an individual. But a lot of people seem to have that kind of insecurity. It's a very common trait that we need to find self-worth in having our opinion validated by others or agreed with by others.
And I do think that's a human failing, needing that validation. But
Mm.
at the same time, you know, um, and while that's, I'm sorry, that's YouTube. You know, the validation is going to be the views. It's going to be the interaction. It's going to be the comments. But the very fact that we're open to actually talking to people means it's more than that. I want Carlo. By the way, good evening, Carlo. I want Carlo in the conversation. I want the Bosco scenario in the conversation. Not for the interaction, for the conversation. Because I honestly believe if we're going to build a community, we need to do it genuinely and not be judgmental.
Indeed. That's the beauty of conversation that I think sometimes we overlook is that it's such a versatile thing. You know, you can have a really engaging and enjoyable conversation from contrary standpoints, but you can also have a really exciting and engaging conversation when you're agreeing on something and just sharing your passion for, passion for that thing that you both have in common. It's and every kind of shade in between.
Mm-hmm.
Conversation can be a really powerful tool, but we seem to waste it a lot of the time on just frivolous insecurities, and it's a real shame.
Yeah.
You know, I've been seeing some of that today actually. Mecca Random went on live stream and she was having a minor breakdown over a lot of stuff that's happened to her over the last day or two, and it was really sad to see. The fact that she was facing such, and whether you like her or dislike her or agree with her or disagree with her, just the fact that she's in that place where she feels she can't say or do anything for fear of just being attacked from every direction, you know.
And
And
that's the other thing. People, and I'll let you back to it, people that are rejoicing in this, going, yay, she's in a shitty mood and she's depressed and she's whatever. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
She's a human being.
why would you take pleasure in seeing anybody in that state? I mean, I have a great deal of contempt for certain types of people in certain walks of life, but I never want to see them distressed. I should say contempt for their ideas and their views rather than for them individually. But
Right.
you know, I mean, we've talked about the state of the current generation, the millennial generation, and some of the really weird things that they're into, or at least weird from our perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it, I just kind of I shake my head, and sometimes I'm disheartened by it, sometimes I'm confused by it, and sometimes I just find it downright hilarious. But I wouldn't ever want to see a single one of those individuals hurting. You know, I wouldn't take joy in watching them breaking down on a live stream because someone's even like, even if I think all of this kind of wolfkin stuff is stupid, these 653 different genders and whatnot, even though I think it's absolutely ridiculous, I wouldn't want to see someone, I wouldn't take pleasure in seeing someone breaking down because they're getting attacked over it.
No.
It's just there's I don't know how people could get pleasure from that. Well,
No.
I do. I just it disheartens me. People get pleasure from it for exactly the reason that I said. It's validation by your own opinions being proven right. You see a wolfkin breaking down because people take the piss out of them for being wolfkin, and then you think, well, that validates my opinion that wolfkins are stupid, so I'm taking pleasure out of seeing that wolfkin having a breakdown. But for me, that's not how it works.
Mm-mm.
I'll disagree with a wolfkin, but I won't attack them for being wolfkin. So yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, really. And I hear a lot of particularly in the last few weeks, I've heard a lot of the kind of rumblings of what goes on behind the scenes with the fandom menace and with anti-tracker and with mecha random and Night's Edge and in the sort of lower circles, our circles, and it's just like I sort of said it initially tongue in cheek, but why can't we all just get along? Why can't we just leave the drama at the doorstep, agree to disagree? I mean, most of the people involved in these dramas will publicly state we can agree to disagree, but even though I don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, clearly there's something going on where people aren't agreeing to disagree. You know, as they say in every story, there's your side, there's my side, and somewhere in between there's the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And exactly, Carlo, you can disagree without harming someone, and that's what I always aspire to. Occasionally I get it wrong because nobody's perfect, but that should always be our aspiration to, be agreeably disagreeable.
And the can't we all just get along is a wishful sentiment, and honestly, the answer is no. But
That,
sometimes, if by getting along you mean the happy joy, let's all get together and talk kind of thing. If by getting along you're talking about, okay, I don't like you particularly, so I'm not going to talk to you. But I'm not
yeah,
going to tell anybody else not to talk to you because you and I aren't getting along. That's wrong. You
yeah. I
know,
mean,
I
like,
don't agree with everything Mecha Random said. I like her. I'm subscribed to her channel. I go there. But that doesn't mean I agree with her always. I don't agree with anybody always. Hell, Bird and I are, in many ways, completely opposite. But yet, real world, honest to God, he is the first person I would probably call from anybody I know on YouTube. If I needed to talk to somebody, I would pick up the fucking phone and call him. Why? Because I know he will listen. Even though there are times we disagree, sometimes vehemently on certain topics. But I know he's there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Carlos says, I disagree with Captain Trek on a few things. However, I see his point of view and why he's affected by something in that way. But I love the man, enjoyed the conversation, and his opinion is no less. I agree with that totally, Carlo. And, you know, I've known Kappas for a year and a half, maybe closing on 2 years now. And
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to be a straight talker with him. We get on really well, but I have pulled him up on occasion. But I try to do it in a meaningful and you know, affable way. But if he's out of line, I'll, as I would with anyone, I'll try and pull him back into line and hopefully give him a fresh perspective. And I would expect anyone to do the same for me.
Exactly. That's what friends do. You know, they don't slam you and say, "Hey, you're an asshole," blah blah blah. It's like, look,
I might tell someone they're being an asshole, but that's slightly different from telling them they are an asshole.
this is like, look, okay, now I know what's going on somewhat. Why don't you just take a step back and just relax, and we can talk about things. That's how we've talked before. Because it's not been, you know, you've not attacked me for what I thought, even though you disagreed.
There's no need to attack an individual, as we often say, attack the point, not the person, right? And you don't even have to attack the point necessarily, just sort of deconstruct it. It doesn't have to be like a full on hostile assault. You can just say, well, this is a bad idea because blah, 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 and blah.
Um, well, LDG, I don't actually have your number. We'll have to talk about that another time. I'm sure as hell I'm not going to ask you to give out your private number on a fucking live stream. Because it's going to be here forever.
Baby, 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 you can have my private number. And he's just throwing it out there. I think, I don't know, that kind of looks like he just hit a few keys that were close to each other. He's probably given out the number of his local whorehouse.
Carlo 555. I like that.
The greatest little whorehouse in Texas. Yes, every number starts with a 555. Carlo knows only too well. Did they still do that? I've seen some more recent films and shows where they don't do that, but I don't know. Maybe they still do.
Some of them still do, but others of them have gone to a different one where it's still the same thing. Where
it's still a fake, but
number.
it's just not 555.
Because obviously 555 has gotten to be known. It's okay. This is fake.
Do you know? Do you know what number Klondike 53226 is?
Okay.
Are you googling?
I am trying to think. Thinking of a phone. ABC. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you don't have to transpose the letters to numbers. It's just it's the number of a particular service. If you dial Klondike 53226, you get a particular service. I'm just wondering if you know what service it is.
No, I don't.
It's Mr. Plow from The Simpsons.
Mm.
Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow. Call Klondike 53226. I don't know why that stuck in. I first heard that when I was like 15, 16 years old. So it's been 30 years and I still know it for no particular reason. Did someone saying hello to Lady Yvette? Is Lady Yvette with us in the chat? Oh, there
Not,
she
I
is.
guess
Hello,
she
Yvette.
is.
She's another one suffering from the heat and the clamminess.
It's damn late or early, however you want to look at it.
It's well, it's Sunday for us. It's 20 to 1 in the morning.
Again, late or early, depending on how you look at it.
Uh-huh.
But I mean,
By
like,
the way,
okay, let me grab the phone real quick.
By the way, while you're grabbing your phone, and before I forget, I just want to put a little shout out to a new channel that I found, which I'm sure probably quite a few people in our circle have come across. It's called the Salty Nerd Podcast, and it's for nerds around about your age and mine. They're all sort of late 30s, early 40s, pushing 50, and they have a YouTube. They have a website as well, I think. But I watch the YouTube channel, and they put out regular videos, and it's just a round table with them discussing, a new movie trailer that's popped up, or they'll do a fairly in-depth discussion about a Star Trek movie or a Star Wars movie, or just good wholesome nerd stuff. And it's a great podcast. I found them through the whole Twitter drama with what's his face that's doing Indiana Jones? Mangold. Um, one of the Salty Nerdcast people put out a tweet just saying, if you're expecting Indiana Jones 5 to be good, just remember Kathleen Kennedy's in charge of it and somebody else is writing it who's got no credits to their name. And, it's sort of stating facts, really, And then James Mangold attacked him on Twitter. And because of that whole drama, I became aware of their existence and went and looked at their channel. And they do some great videos. So if anybody's looking for a new channel, try the the Salty Nerd Podcast. It's a good channel.
If one of the mods would not mind looking it up, I would appreciate that. Be nice to have the link in there. I know that Aberjam can't do it because he's on his phone.
I have my limitations, sadly.
So anybody like LDG who is on a computer, I would appreciate looking up that channel so others can look at it. And but yes, that's the thing. I want to, I have a few channels on my list that I'm going to start supporting because number one, they're small channels. They're not huge.
That's what she said. Patrick Bow Wow.
And they deserve to have some attention because they actually provide good content despite having low numbers. I'm not going to say don't go to Midnight's Edge because I like Midnight's Edge. Hell, I'm on their Patreon, I think.
Sorry,
it would be $1 a month type thing, but yeah.
That's cool. Darth Hester, you're looking up Salty Nerd Podcast.
And good morning, TWTG content. How are you?
Yeah, I think that's very admirable, Captain. I mean, there are so many channels that I would like to support, but sadly, I just don't have the finances to be able to. Not even for $1 a month. Um, that's just how tight my budget is most months. Um, but giving them views and likes is also a good way to support them. So we do what we can, but yeah, it's very good of you because I know your money's hardly pouring out your ears either. So
No,
it's very admirable to share what little you do have. I occasionally I'll throw in a buck or two to one of our channels here. I've thrown you a couple of bucks from time to time, and Anti-Trekker and Bird. I like to occasionally throw in a super chat on Bird or Anti-Trekker's channel. Uh, if any of the regulars on Anti-Trekker's channel haven't figured it out, I am actually the Law Appreciation Society. I'm the one. I am the one responsible for inflicting law bond on you every week. So you can thank me for that. Uh, and although I haven't made any donations in a while because money's been tight, yeah, I do. I try and support her through super chats as well when I can. I'll throw in the odd President Grandpa Joe super chat and one or two others. Thank you, Darth, for putting that link in there. Please, guys, go and give them a look, and if you like them, throw them a subscription. I do highly recommend them.
That's why, like I said, I do. Oh, I'm not subscribed. They have an intro. Let's see what it is.
I don't know. I don't know if they have a large following on their website, maybe, but their YouTube channel is pretty small. I think they have less than 1,000 subs on their YouTube channel, but their setup is very professional. Um, it looks, they've really worked hard to make a decent studio for them to sit and have their round table, and they've got all the professional mics rigged up and stuff. So they're really putting in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy your coffee, Yvette. Let us know when you've
Absolutely.
woken up.
There, I found something. I found the other day, I looked back on my numbers and I noticed something really strange. Because most days, I have anywhere from low 60s, 90s, can go up to the 200 for views. You know, I looked the other day and there were 14 views. It's like, the hell? It's not like a day I wasn't on.
Yeah.
And I knew I had more than 14 people in chat. So I knew something was screwy. Well, I looked up the Salty Nerd thing, and it was the same day. The day before it was at 290. So, the next day was at 181. Then the next day it was at 280. And it's just like, blah, blah, blah. YouTube does screw with numbers. Sorry,
Yeah, they
they
do.
do.
YouTube loves screwing with you.
But and what I found funny, there was one time in particular, there was a big dip like that, and so then I started looking up different channels, and it's like, wait a minute, it's the same drop. That's the same drop. Okay, third channel, that's the same drop. Okay, yeah, YouTube's fucking with everybody. So
I have a video on my channel. It was a little parody that I did. I filmed it in GTA 5, and it's a Smokey and the Bandit parody. I'm driving a car like Smokey and the Bandit, and it's like a police chase of Smokey trying to escape the cops, and it's got the whole, Westbound and Down music playing in the background, which I've never been copyright struck for, which kind of amazes me. Uh, be that as it may, it got to about 13,000 views, and I hadn't checked it for a good 6 months or so after that. And then I went back to find it, and I couldn't find it. I typed it in the search bar, didn't show up. I went to my channel, my own channel, and looked down my list of my videos. Wasn't on the list of my videos. It was like it had just been scrubbed completely. It wasn't unlisted. It wasn't unlisted. It wasn't privated. It just wasn't there. And then about a month later, it just magically reappeared again, still with 13,000 views. And I had no idea what YouTube did with it. It's like they just kind of pressed the off button on it for a month and then decided to press the on button and it reappeared. It was so strange. Dad's talking about playing, he's gone back to playing Quake 3 Arena. I haven't played Quake Arena for 22, 23 years. Takes me right back, that.
And let's see here. Hello, Darth. Not Darth Astor, but hello. Thank you for being here. It was very nice of you to enter that. Hello, Thought Process. The current topic, actually, is we're talking about building community and how that means that even though there are going to be channels that each individual's not necessarily going to get along with, we need to kind of, agree to disagree. And, if I don't like somebody's channel, I don't go there. I don't say, hey, go over to somebody's channel and, hit the dislike button and leave, or tell them to F off or whatever. That's pathetic. I've actually heard people do that on a live stream before. I've actually heard people say, hey, go over, dislike this video, and tell them to fuck off.
I don't think I've seen that on any. I've seen people on their channel telling people not to. Now, some people consider that a dog whistle, quote unquote, and what they're really saying is wink, wink, go over and dislike this channel. Which, for the ones that I have seen, I would disagree with that. I don't think they're dog whistling. I think they are genuinely saying, look, just don't go and attack this person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly, I've never seen a video of someone openly saying, go and flag this channel or attack this channel. Or,
it's only been once, and that was about a year ago. And I couldn't tell you who it was. I didn't save the live stream.
The closest I've seen is someone saying, go to the comments and tell them what you think. But, I've never heard anyone outright say, go and attack a person. Dar, thank you for the. I'm not sure if it was tongue in cheek. Thank you for the invitation to play, but I don't have a gaming rig. I don't even have a PC, so I couldn't if I wanted to. So, but I appreciate the thought.
You could guess all you want, but I prefer you not guess in the chat because, that's not.
Yeah, we're not here for drama.
Rumors is not. No, we're not going to start rumors or.
We'll comment.
Whatever.
We'll give opinion, but we're not here for drama. In principle, building a community is remarkably simple, right? Just don't be a dick. And if anyone has anything in common with you, they'll come, and the community will build itself. It's in theory, it's that simple, but for some reason, it eludes a lot of people.
And Darth Astor is correct. We don't always agree on everything. But I'll tell you what, he's another one that, In time, if I had his number and needed to talk to somebody, I'd call without without question. There are a couple of other people. I have their number. I know I can call them at any time.
It's so great to have people to lean on. So
And
nice.
that's one of the things that has helped. Um, I know I know I've had some difficulties in the past. I'll be honest, a lot of it has to do, with the pain, the physical pain.
Yeah, it would drive anyone nuts.
And again, I don't normally um, recommend going to watch a video of mine or a live stream of mine. But if you want to know what it's all about, yeah, go back to the last paid live stream. Um, Even Bird said, watch the first 30 minutes, you'll understand a lot more.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
because I was very open and honest in that. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say I can't speak for your pain, but I do know that when I have episodes, it can get pretty fucking bad at times. I'm generally fortunate in that I'll have like one episode in a day, and it'll be anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours. But it's kind of peaks and troughs. It's always there, but like I'll have to spend half an hour upstairs in immense pain, and eventually it'll die down. I'll come downstairs, and I might be good for 10 minutes, and then it starts swelling up again, and the pain starts coming back. And then I have to run back upstairs. But generally, worst case scenario, I'll have one episode a day, and that might go on for 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Um, but sometimes I have other health issues as well. So sometimes it'll be the diverticulitis, and the diverticulitis will set off the tinnitus, and the tinnitus will get me aggravated, and then I'll start thinking about my impaired vision and just how I haven't seen anything with complete clarity for the last 2 fucking years, and how annoying that is. And then it becomes a downward spiral. So I mean, that's a very rare occurrence, fortunately, but it can be easy for it to, you know, when you have particularly when you have a chronic health condition or a reoccurring condition, um, it can very easily set off a domino effect, and before you know it, you're just like, what is up with my fucking life? And it can drive you nuts on occasion.
It's interesting because there are several, at least a couple of issues that I know we both have. You were talking about the tinnitus. That's something that it's constant for me. Not always as severe, but it's always there. I always have a ringing in my right ear. Always there.
Yeah,
And I think that's another thing that adds to the um, pressure. Um, and I'm not you know shirking responsibility because of something that you know a lot of people have. Maybe not everybody, but it's so rare that you know it's not like this wound that I have. You don't have a lot of people who have surgery and have an open wound for 2 years. But
yeah, and that's
uh,
that's another good thing about community, and I'm thinking specifically about our community, but also community in general, is it's good to be able to share those complaints without having to feel like you're being a whiner and with nobody around you thinking that you're being a whiner. That, those that are with you know that you're just sharing and you're just empathizing with each other. It's great to have that kind of circle where you can do that without fear of, people going, oh, he's whining about this again or he's whining about that again. It's just, no, you ask me how I'm doing and I'm being honest about it. Hi, Das.
Hey, Darth, what's up?
Ever, how you doing, Captain?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Uh, did you see my last comment, or I
I
thought it
might
was
have
funny?
missed it. What was your last comment?
Oh yes.
Something about rumors.
Oh, about Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, is that the album that has Chains on it?
Yep,
Yeah, that's a great
like
song. I love
every
Chains.
song on there. And
Yeah,
I would go as far to say that, but yeah.
it is a good album. Actually, speaking of bands, um, I've had a very interesting experience yesterday. Have either of you ever had like a moment in time where you have a musical epiphany, like a band comes on the radio and you suddenly lock into it and you know that it's gonna have some relevance in your
Oh
life?
yeah.
Yeah, I like the only time it ever happened to me previously, and I remember it clear as a bell. I was driving home after I just left work. I was driving home after work, and I was listening to Radio One and music radio, and it was Butterflies and Hurricanes. And within a minute of hearing that song, it was like goosebumps, and I knew that this was like a moment in my musical life. And by the end of the song, I was blown away, and that got me into Muse. And Muse has been like the theme track to my life ever since. Well, I had a very similar experience yesterday. I was surfing YouTube, and up in my recommends, there came up a video. It was vocal coach reacts to Nightwish, band called Nightwish, and it's called the song is called Ghost Love Score.
I
And I was
love
just
that
kind of
song.
and I was just intrigued by the title, so I clicked it and I listened to that song, and it's the same as when I first heard Muse. As soon as, like within a minute of hearing Ghost Love Score, I got chills. I got a flashback to the moment that I first heard Muse, and I'm like, yeah, this is a band that's going to be a major weight in my life for the rest of my life.
Did you
And
say Muse?
Muse, yeah, the band Muse.
I
You
like
know,
Muse. Muse is good.
Muse are a fantastic band. They're amazing, but they're so um, they're almost musical genius. Matt Bellamy, who like does a lot of the songwriting and musical composition, is like a very talented musician and singer. But yeah, getting back to Nightwish, I'd never heard of them, never heard any of their songs before, and within a minute, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a major effect in my life. And Floor Jansen has the most incredible voice. She's such a talented vocalist, but that whole song, just like well, you call it symphonic metal, right? And it's an amazing
Yeah.
song. I've started listening to some of their other stuff, like Greatest Show on Earth and The Poet and the Pendulum. They're an incredible band. They really are. And she's such an
Flo-
amazing singer. Plug in Baby, fantastic song.
Flo- um, Floor Jensen is actually the third Nightwish singer.
Yeah, I like is it Yatsa or Yatten, the original singer. She's a proper opera singer. She's got a really good
Oh,
voice, but she's a little bit too her style and her voice is a tiny bit too wholesome for my liking for the actual feel of the music. and the
Are you talking
style of
about
the band.
Tarja Turunen?
Tarja
Yes.
Turunen, yeah, fantastic singer, but yeah, she just doesn't quite have that edge that Floor has. Floor has that little bit of rock edge in her style and in her
Floor
voice
does. Yes,
that
I
really
agree. I
shines
heartily,
really shines through.
I
The
heartily agree with you.
Yeah, the
But
second
I'm more
singer,
of an Annette Olson. She actually has a new
not
band
great.
now.
She's not great, to be honest. She sings flat on a lot of the songs, and she doesn't have anywhere near the power that the other two have. I mean, she's trying better. She's not terrible or anything, but she's
She's
not
got a
suited
style
to those.
all her own, though.
Yeah, she's not suited to those songs. She's really not.
Of
She
course,
could do much
her
better than those
background.
songs.
I think she was like. I think she was like a yodeler before she joined, and you could tell on Amaranth if you actually listen, you could hear the yodel go into it.
Yeah, yeah. Not a bad singer. I just didn't think she fit with Nightwish. But yeah, to me, I mean, there is that little bit of the first one you see is going to be your default. But I do think that out of the three, Floor is the one that really totally embodies the band of Nightwish. He really embodies that music and that style for me.
That's probably true because I jumped in between Tarja and Annette
Yeah.
because I saw um, Tarja when I was singing for Nightwish. Wish I had an angel, and and then uh, and then Annette took over after her during the tour, and they came out with Amaranth and Bye Bye Beautiful, and I guess I just kind of got used to Annette, and I guess I just kind of sympathized with Annette really because the way they treated her was ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about anything going on behind the scenes. I did read that, at least from the band's point of view, Tasha got a bit of herself and decided to leave because she didn't need them anymore. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's what the band's official uh, line is. Um, but yeah, incredible singer, and she's like 90% of the way there. But for me, Floor just has that little extra edge over Taja that really brings it home, you know.
Are you curious to see where Annette Olson is now?
Yeah.
If Captain Truck permits, I'd put a video of Annette in the chat.
Go for it. I
Her
know that.
her new band.
Well, I can't use links right now because I'm on my phone. But if you tell me the name of her
I'll
band, I'll
slap it in the
definitely look it
private.
up.
The band is the Dark Element.
Dark Element. Right, I'll look them up. I'll definitely look them up because I would be interested to see how she does in a different band. Um, I think she was the wrong pick for Nightwish. I don't think she had the same vocal style and range they really needed for their songs.
I actually follow Nightwish and the Dark Element, and still follow Tarja's solo projects.
Have you listened to any After Forever?
Yeah, I was listening to After Forever before they picked up Floor.
Ah, okay. It's on my list to check out some of their songs. I only checked out one earlier today, and it's a little bit different to Nightwish, but it's interesting. Not quite my same cup of tea as Nightwish. For anyone in the chat that's watching that's interested, if you like bands like Muse, Queen, Led Zeppelin, Rush, those sort of symphonic rock style bands that like to tell a story with their lyrics and putting some of the orchestral stuff behind their music. If you like that kind of style of stuff, definitely check out Nightwish if you've not heard them. it's symphonic rock is probably the best way I can describe it. But
Mhm.
it's
Metal is what I'd call it.
yeah, it's just. But they're an amazing band in my estimation. Incredibly talented instrumentalists, and the arrangements, the musical arrangements they have, are just
It's almost,
phenomenal.
it's damn near orchestral.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Well, and that's one of the things, because I was listening to something earlier on Rick Beto. I don't know what his channel, and he was talking about okay, the video I just watched a little while ago was my latest top 10 Spotify review. Has it gotten worse? And he was listening to at the time, this is back in January, uh, what were the top 10 songs on Spotify at that time. And uh, some of them were good. Some of them were okay. Some of them, ew. Why people?
Ew.
Why people like them? I don't know. And I'm
Give me
going.
one of the.
You want an example? You want an example of bad?
Yeah,
Justin Bieber.
never mind. I should have known that.
If you like Justin Bieber, you can cry me a river.
Lord.
Now that's Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, Justin.
Uh,
Whoever, I don't care. They're all Justin to me.
but they were playing at that time what was one of his latest songs, and it's like, okay, the guy plays guitar. I know he plays guitar and keyboard and all that. He was playing along, and it's like there were three chords of the damn song. Ding, 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 ding. And like, what the fuck is this shit? And another video I watched, he was talking about a song that they were going to be he's going to be joining this other group. They were just going to be touring his little thing. Um, and the woman who was the singer of the band said they wanted to play this. They wanted to sing this song because it was a current hit at the time. And okay, and then so they sat down and listened to it, and they were going over the chords, and it's like, uh, what? What? This? I mean, it was that complicated. Um, I'm not saying if you like Justin Bieber, that's fine. I don't get it, but um, like you like. Uh, I just think auto tune is way overrated, way overused, and I don't like the synthetic drums. Um, I like the sound of real drums.
The pigeon drums. Do 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 do.
Who goes from listening to Slayer to listening to Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians?
But see, even that, if you've listened to the music, forget the lyrics. If you just listen to the progression of the song, they're not like the crap that is making the pop music now. You don't have these little minor, or when I say minor, I don't mean minor key, um, progressions throughout the song going, you know, three keys. That's it. Ding, ding, ding. What? You know, they make chord changes. They make they're minors, they're majors, they're really some strange combinations, but they sound beautiful. And
I
when it's all worked together, it's wonderful. But
I
yeah,
found I found myself oddly compelled by Billie Eilish recently. Apparently, she's been around for 4 or 5 years, and she got really kind of in the mainstream eye about 2 years ago, over the last 2 years. And I heard one of her
Gosh,
songs, and I thought, oh, it's
it's good.
okay, it's a little bit different. But over the last month or so, I've been listening to more and more of her songs, and I just find them really intriguing. That like I wouldn't consider them normally my taste of music, but actually,
hmm
she makes some pretty good songs, I think. So I've been listening to more and more her. I wouldn't call myself a. I wouldn't, I wouldn't go out and buy her album. I don't think at this point, but I'm intrigued by a lot of the stuff that she does. A lot of the songs that she makes. They're very interesting.
I'm gonna be honest about my experience with Billie Eilish. I thought she was just gonna be another one of those bubblegum pop stars,
Yep.
but but butterflies. I came home one day after going to the store, and butterflies was listening to something, and I'm like, "Who the heck is that?" And I'm like, "That's good. Who is that?" She's like, "Billie Eilish." And I'm like, "Get out of here! You're kidding me." She's like, "No, I'm not kidding you. That's Billie Eilish." Just yeah. So that's pretty much my experience of finding out that Billie Eilish was actually good.
Yeah, and I found out, looking into her songs, and I looked at some of the behind the scenes stuff that they've done. I found out that really it's just her and her brother doing the entire thing, which is pretty impressive. They just started out they lived in their parents' house, and they just started out in each other's bedrooms, kind of riffing ideas off each other and putting down tracks and stuff. And that's what, as far as I can tell, that's what they still do. It's just basically the two of them producing their own music.
White
and
the White Stripes that used to do that. He was like what husband and wife, Jack White and Meg, or was that his sister? I can't remember.
I don't know. Well, yeah, TWTG. I didn't, I don't really care about her politics. There's a lot of bands I listen to that I don't care for their personal politics, but their music is awesome. I love you too. I think they're kind of up. Well, Bono is a little bit up himself, but you know, I don't care because they make great music, or at least they did until the last decade. I've gone
I'm
off
with
them lately.
Carlo. No doubt was great live back then. She
hmm
still probably could sing that way. Gwen Stefani, I wouldn't put it past her. And wait, have you seen her now? It doesn't look like she's changed much. Time has been really good with Stefani.
She's still sporting the grunge look.
No, but she's got her own clothing line now, and
All
she
right.
does those those idol type pop shows.
Oh yeah, the network circuit, all the talent shows.
Yeah, well, it was funny. I watched a couple of those shows, the quote unquote talent shows. Of course, most of it were just it was just like any other reality show, just set up for you know TV. But hey,
Yeah, I don't watch the talent shows really anymore. I used to,
yeah,
and going back 15 years, I used to watch them quite a bit. My missus watches them a lot, and occasionally she'll send me a video or whatever to watch, and it drags me back in a little bit. I watched a few yesterday, a few America's Got Talent performances and stuff like that. But generally, I you know,
My friends are into the Mass Singer.
yeah, she's big into that. My missus, she really likes Masked Singer. But for me, it's just more of the same, really.
And unfortunately, a lot of it has, gotten down to the simplistic. You don't have those great orchestral type, even if it's not an actual orchestra, but sounds. You don't have a real drummer. You don't have a real pianist. You don't have whatever. It's all synthesized bullshit. And
Well, not in the mainstream anymore. And I would have agreed with you last week, but then I found out that Nightwish is a thing, and I'm like, okay, so that's still around. Fantastic.
yeah,
And I'm
They've
sure
been
there are
around.
more. Yeah, they've been around like 20 years, haven't they? 96, I think they were formed, or 98. So they've been around a good while, but they're
I
still
want to say
going.
94, 95, maybe.
No, it was 96, I think. I read the wiki yesterday. It's either 96 or 98. But that's
Feels earlier than that for some reason.
because you're getting old, man.
So, what is your
Probably.
favorite channel, Orville Nation? Go ahead and drop the link to your channel, because I'm sure that's your favorite channel, of course.
I think PJ's referring to you, Captain. This channel. You're his favorite channel. I was while I was surfing through the Nightwish videos yesterday, the YouTube algorithm, when you start looking at one particular thing, it starts clumping in similar stuff into the recommends, and it came up with a group called Arch Nemesis. So I thought, oh, that might be interesting. It might be a similar thing to Nightwish. It's not, but it's a metal band, but it's what I would call screamo. This, but it was a girl fronting it, 5'4", 110 pounds, soaking wet, and she sounds like a bloke when she's doing her screamo, and I was just blown away. Like I don't care for the music much, but
Who are you
I was
talking
just so impressed. Arch Nemesis, they're called.
Arch Enemy. Yes.
Arch Enemy, yeah, and the song was Nemesis, I think. That was
Nemesis. There are also two different singers for them. It was let's see.
Glass woman. She's got a double-barreled name.
Yeah, and then there was
But I was just totally impressed by it. Like, I've always considered screamo to be kind of like low talent, but when you actually try and emulate what these popular screamo singers do, it's not as easy as you think. It's not as easy as you think. It actually does require a great deal of talent and discipline to be able to do a proper, decent screamo.
It's a lot of body. It's a lot of body discipline. As a former screamer myself, I could actually say it takes a lot of body control.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. And I was totally impressed by how this glass woman was knocking it out of the park. She did not my style of music, but for her genre and for her profession, doing a fantastic bang up job. I thought. I'm glad you appreciate the name, Yvette. You telling me you've got sweaty bollocks and all?
I'm with Carlo on this one. Chris is good.
Cradle of the Fifth. Not one I'm familiar with.
The
Is that a
Filth.
screamo band?
They when they got their start, they started as an Iron band. Let's do their version of "Hallowed Be Thy Name." Probably a good starter. Which, yes, is the Iron Maiden cover.
Yeah.
And by the way, PJ, okay, fine. I'll go to your favorite channel.
I'll give him
I'll buy. Okay, and guess what? I am currently down from this morning. 6 subscribers. Yay, YouTube! You suck.
You've lost 6 subs.
3.
Oh, you've
since
lost
I
3.
started the stream. 3 since I started the stream. Yep.
I guess not everybody likes symphonic rock.
Either that or people want people to be negative. I don't know.
People come, people go. As long as there's at least one person willing to listen, you've got a reason to open your mouth, right?
Exactly. And I'm going to be quite honest. You know, there have been a few people. It's like, oh, hey, you should be at X number. It's like, okay, yeah, it's nice. You know, it'd be nice. And it is kind of disheartening to look at the number and go, oh, it's gone down 3 in the past hour and a half.
Well, it's like I've said to you in previous conversations, Cappers. Why do you do it? Do you do it for the subs, or do you do it for the love of doing it?
I do it. You know? I do it for the love of doing it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the subs don't really matter. And I've heard a few YouTubers talk about, you know, like bigger ones in the hundreds of thousands or the millions, and they talk about their journey. You know, they hit a landmark and then they sort of they reminisce about their journey there. And a few of them will say to you, early on, I didn't care about the subs numbers, but then you get to a point and it becomes like your job, and then you start worrying about the subs. And every time you lose just one sub, you go out of your mind, you know. And I wouldn't ever want to be like that.
No.
Yes, Carlo, the subs aren't real, and the cake is a lie.
Somebody's been playing some Portal.
Everybody loves Paul. You can do anything.
Wasn't that was a starter? That was a booster game for Half-Life.
Yeah, it was
2, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of a parallel to Half-Life. It was kind of a side project, I think, initially.
Carlo, I like you. I do. I really do. But I have to give an honest response. No. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, and I don't care. I mean, yeah, there was a point. It's like, oh, hey, this would be cool. This would be great. No, I don't care. If I do, I do. If people want to give, because people were asking me before, it's like, oh, I want to support your channel. I want to, I want to help out. Okay, fine. I put links in every live stream because people were asking. It's like, fine, I'll do it, and I do it. And there are times there are people who have done a lot. And that doesn't necessarily mean a dollar amount. Somebody will, there's somebody that gives like $15 a month. Well, I know for a fact that's $15 that could have gone somewhere else.
Many
And
times
it adds up. It adds up, and the fact that I've been able to use it um, primarily for bandages, for uh, things I've needed for, and there were a couple of times I bought some food with it uh, because obviously I'm not working. I'm not going to ask my parents to pay for everything. I get a little bit of money every month, um, and I hate to say this, I get food stamps. Well, it doesn't pay for everything. Um, so yeah, there have been a few times I've gone out and I've bought some cans of tuna. And we're not talking lobster. We're talking cans of tuna. Little things like that. Um, and I bought me a can of Diet Coke because that cold or red actually no, wasn't Diet, it was Coke. What am I saying? But the point is, people have helped, and I appreciate that. That's why I've not taken it out because people honestly were asking. So it stays there. People want to help, they can. I've not asked. I will not ask. That's my limitation. That's my weakness. I don't want to feel like I'm begging somebody. And but I will say there was somebody who gave. I didn't even know. Did not even know. Said, "Oh, by the way, this person sent me. Here's this money. Use it for what you need to do." This is before the health insurance kicked in, and I needed to buy a special kind of bandage. I went up to the store because I couldn't get extras from the hospital at that point. It cost about $70.
Oh.
And I'm going, oh my God, where am I gonna? Okay, I got the card. Uh, Money's in the bank. Okay, here we go. And I know they weren't expecting their money to go on bandages, but that's what I needed right then. So, you know, I've done what I could to help out others as well. Like I said, I'll be on. I'm on a couple of people's Patreons because it's $1 a month, and you know I'm able to manage to get that much. But for me, it provides more than just. It's my way of supporting them. Yes, it's a monetary thing, but it's please. They get 70 cents for a fucking month from that. That's nothing. That's let's see here. There's 31 days in months. That would be 2 and whatever percentage cents a day. Now, granted, most of them aren't actually on 7 days a week, so let's say 5 days a week, whatever. So it ends up being 3 or 4 cents, whatever, per day. That's nothing.
You need to bring in a lot of views to make a living out of YouTube. I think it's something like
That's not what I'm wanting to do either. That's not what I'm wanting to do.
yeah, but I'm addressing what Darth was saying in the comments.
Yeah.
I think I could be wrong, but I think it's something like 1,000 views equals 1 cent. So you have to have numerous videos on your channel, all pulling in views constantly to make a decent living. That's why you see a lot of the sort of bigger YouTubers now, the ones that are making or trying to make a living out of it. A lot of the time now, you'll see them doing a lot of live streams because that's their bread and butter. Getting donations, getting super chats in. That's where they make the bulk of their money. And of course, with the demonetization process being so unpredictable, you don't know what video is going to get demonetized next and why. And it takes you 3 weeks for them to let you know why. And then it's always some vague kind of description of what was wrong with the video, but they don't say, at 3 minutes at 45 seconds, you said an offensive word, and then you can just cut it out and repost. It's not like that. It's just like you can spend 6 months figuring out why they demonetized your video. So, yeah, it's monetization is a bit of a fickle thing on YouTube these days. You're better off using Patreon and super chats and stuff like that.
Like I said, people have pushed me to try to get the subscribers up because, that way I could be monetized. Really?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not, because it would really be. I could go out, I could, search a few things and come up with some bullshit to say. No problem. I could figure out something to say for a half hour easily. And then I could, I could find certain people that I could ask to come on and, give supporting and somewhat, so I don't wouldn't look totally, whatever. I'd have somebody that was on that kind of gave an opposing viewpoint, blah, blah, blah. That's formulaic, and I don't want that bullshit. I didn't ask either one of you to come on prior to just starting this live stream. Neither one of you knew I was coming on. But you're both on.
Yep, we're here.
Yeah.
And, there are channels I know. It's like, oh, here, we've got the lineup for who's gone. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I really, really am not. But that's not me. That's not what this channel's about. I don't want a formulaic, I want it to be the community type place where people can come, they can join the panel, they can discuss topics that they care about.
Yeah, we're just here to chat shit.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like I said, these are going to be more, at least start off with a topic. We've gotten off of it somewhat, but what rather than the morning brew where there really is no topic. But like I said, I've gone back. There was a live stream I did the other day, and I put something in the title, and I've since removed it. And because I don't feel that was
I remember that.
supporting the community. I was just pissed that day.
I noticed.
And I was in pain. great deal of pain. So,
The bad accent stream.
oh, there was that, wouldn't you?
I didn't understand why you got so pissed off at that, but
Were you
it's your
speaking
channel.
French?
You do what you want. No, I was on that panel initially, and a couple of others joined, and they were taking the piss out of my accent, which I'm perfectly fine with. If I couldn't take it, I wouldn't dish it. But I left completely unrelated to that. I left the panel, and then they just carried on going on about accents and doing really bad accents, Australian ones, and all sorts of others. And it just kind of, for some reason, it wound up Kappa's, and he just ended the stream and retitled it the bad accent stream, which that tickled my funny bone.
Well, Captain knows. I don't know if you know, but I like to fool around with voice acting and accents and things.
Right.
And I have a hell of a time of it. I really do. It's really fun sometimes. Just regular conversation, just going around talking to different vocal style, different. It's just really interesting for people. I mean,
sitting out on the porch in the old bayou, drinking some of Mama's peach tea, stretching my balls in the sun.
Something like that in the middle of the sunshine.
Just
will just blowing in the breeze. And
yeah, it's just another lazy dog dangling afternoon.
Sitting in the morning sun.
We'll be sitting when the evening comes.
We'll be watching the ships roll in.
Yeah, we'll watch them rolling out again.
Oh, I'll be sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the time roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasted time.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be fun to cut this part out.
It's a cover. Don't get your panties in an uproar.
We weren't in tune for any of those notes. No one's going to pick it up on the algorithm.
Oh, trust me. Who knows with YouTube? They're weird.
I think it's less about how you sing it and just who the owner of the song is as to whether they decide to claim it. Some are far worse.
I hope it's not Warner Media.
Oh God. Don't even mention the name. They'll copyright you just for mentioning their name. You're supposed to say Warner Media TM.
TM. Warner Media TM.
I'm gonna MT my bladder all over that TM.
I want to empty my sack. No, never mind. I'm not going there.
No. Just stop.
Squeezy shows up.
When I get that feeling, I want sexual healing.
Yep, good luck with this.
Officially struck down.
Oh, God.
Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce and rolling in the night.
You know, it's funny because I thought the word was something just a little different.
What?
I didn't think it was deuce.
It's funny.
You thought I was
like,
douche, didn't you?
Correct.
It's funny the words your mind fills in when you're listening to a song and you don't quite know the lyrics. Like whenever I listen to a Seal song, I just have to make up my own lyrics because I never know what he's singing. Baby, I compare you to a shift on the scroll of the plane.
Kiss from a
I
rose
no,
on the grave.
yeah, exactly. I just no
Oh, the
idea.
more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Yeah. Now that your rose is
Baby.
in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Oh, there you go. I'm glad somebody knows the lyrics. Oh, we're never gonna survive unless we are a little crazy.
Crazy. I like that song. Crazy's a good song.
Crazy is a great song.
Well, we were talking songs, and we were talking about the vocality of some of them. That
Oh
one
yeah.
does have some good vocal cadence to it. Crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just the vocal progression of it is just good.
Yeah, I can see he's a very good singer. I feel like he has a very limited range, but he plays into that and uses it as a strength. You know.
He definitely plays it to his advantage, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he certainly has a distinct voice. There's no mistaking Seal's voice. You got any favorite bands, Cappers?
Oh, let's see here. When I was younger, one of the bands I listened to was Chicago. Um, I was also into some different music. I One of the bands I liked was Striper. Um,
Electric Light Orchestra?
huh?
Electric Light Orchestra?
That was another
Yellow.
one.
Hello. Hello.
And they're yeah, I had kind of eclectic taste. I'll put it that way. Um, but looking back, I most of the music that I've listened to is not the you know I- what would you call it? What is that stuff?
Weekly Top 40?
Well, no, I'm thinking more along the lines of the stuff. What is that powdered? Not powdered. What is it? Sugared stuff that's stringy and the word's not coming to my mind.
The sugared stuff that's stringy.
Cotton
Yeah,
Candy.
cotton candy. Cotton candy. Thank you.
So it's Cotton Candy Bubblegum Pop. Got it.
Exactly. That's yeah. That's I don't like that.
Just like
I
Billie
don't.
Eilish.
That's what I thought she was going to be. No, she's something different
Yeah.
entirely.
Yeah, I did. First time I heard it, I liked the song, but I thought she's just going to be another,
Agreed. Agreed,
another
Carlo. We
ultra
like what we
production
like.
line bubblegum pop girl. But no, she's
And
got
yes,
some
that's
talent.
another way to put a candy floss. And yeah, anybody who likes it, go for it. I'm not judgmental. It's just not for me.
Yes, it's called candy floss because in Britain we call it candy floss, and we invented words, so deal with it.
I've learned a new thing, what they call pop and floss. Candy floss pop, bubblegum pop.
Yeah, bubblegum pop. I did back in the 80s, going back to bands, back in the 80s, I got into, for a little while, a band called Asia. I don't know if anyone
Asia,
else has
yes.
heard of Asia. They had the best cover art on their albums. Amazing cover art. I can't even remember the name of any of their songs now, but I used
Except
to.
for in the heat of the moment.
Heat of the moment. It was the heat of the moment. Telling me what my heart felt.
I love
Yeah,
that. I love the guitar in that song.
yeah, good song.
That was actually on the PlayStation 2 game Guitar Hero Rocks the 80s.
Was it? Oh, cool. I've got quite a lot. I don't have my 360 anymore. I need to get another one, but I have about 7 or 8 Guitar Hero games on my shelf, and I have the
I used
Guitar Hero guitar. I got the Sunburst Stratocaster controller up in my bedroom, and it hasn't been touched in years. And I really need to get another 360 and rock out to some Guitar Hero. I was pretty good at Guitar Hero. I wasn't Devil Came Down to Georgia on Expert Plus good, but I was pretty good.
I could play on hard, not on expert, but yeah.
Fire and the Flames. Wouldn't even touch Fire and the
Ooh.
Flames. Forget
I
it.
do just for fun.
Carlos says, I have a wide range. You probably think I'm mad, but it's good for me that I'm happy. It's good for me that I'm
A
happy.
wide range of what? A wide vocal range? A wide range of
Types of
concubines?
music.
Wide range of cats?
Music.
Eclectic taste.
Yep.
I think. Yeah. The first band that I was properly into was Queen, and that was kind of my brother's fault. He introduced me to Queen when I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, and I spent about a year building up my Queen album collection because I'd get like 50 pence a week, which in today's money is maybe £2, equivalent to about $2.50, something like that. That would be my weekly allowance.
Mm-hmm.
And albums back then were like £8 or £9, so it was like a month and a half of saving up to get an album. And I eventually had every album that they'd done up until that point, and that was when I was about 13 years old. I had the entire collection. It was about 13 albums, something like that. And then my older brother, he went on a school trip to Germany for a week. And the day that he left, I was at school. He was off school, obviously, so that he could travel to Germany. So I'd gone off to school in the morning. He got up after I'd gone to school, and he, quote unquote, borrowed, I think, 3 Queen albums out of my collection. And so they were missing for a week. Didn't know what had happened to them. Couldn't find them. Turned my room upside down, and I thought I'd left one on a bed and it had gone down the side of the bed or something. So my brother comes home after a week, and maybe 4 or 5 days after he'd come back, I said to him, "Have you seen my Queen albums?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I took a few with me to Germany." I'm like, "Oh, can I have them back?" And he goes, "Oh, I forgot to bring them back with me." And I was so pissed. He took, without even asking, took 3 of my albums to Germany and just fucking left them there. What a twat. So I had to rebuild my. I had it was like a huge shoebox. It was like a wide flat box for working boots that I had, and I decorated it and kitted it out, and I had all of my albums lying in there like face up, so they were fully on display. I was so proud of that collection. I wouldn't call it singing, Darth, or at least not from my perspective anyway. You were fine. I wouldn't call what I was doing singing.
We were having
But
fun
in
with
the
it,
end,
that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Prince Charming, Prince Charming. Ba 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 is na na da 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 da. I forgot the lyrics. I give people the worst time when they get lyrics wrong. It's
There's
nothing
a
to be
couple names I
scared.
haven't seen for a while.
Yeah.
Adam and the Ants and Eurythmics.
Eurythmics.
Wow.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Eurythmics are great. Annie Lennox. She's got a set of bellows on.
Yeah, she
Set of
does.
pipes.
If we can figure out what you're saying, it's fine. Don't worry about it. That.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I'm one of those guys that knows one line out of every song ever written, but no more than one line.
And then you get me, who could probably sing any song almost at any time as long as somebody else starts it.
I'm fine with that. I have I don't consider it an annoying habit, but my missus really hates it. When I'm in a particular frame of mind, anytime someone just says something that happens to be out of a well-known song, I'll start singing the song.
Uh-huh.
You know, so she'll be like, "Oh, I've had a headache all night long," and I'll be like, "All night long, all night."
Oh,
You know,
oh no. Say, shut up!
yeah, and it'll be like every few minutes for hours and hours.
Yeah, my mind does that too. It's like words could just trigger a song in my head. Just regular conversation.
Captain, is there any way we can ban Yvette from the comments section?
Well, because she said Crazy Frog is the ball.
Yeah, I think she's trying to get fun with that one.
No.
I love Axel F. I hate Crazy Frog. Harold Faltermeyer. I imagine Axel F is probably a big copyright hit. 5 seconds of that, and you're probably struck down for life.
The Offspring is in a whole nother ballpark. I love The Offspring.
I remember the name, but I don't remember what any of the songs were.
Greatest
Yeah.
memories with their music in the background. No, I have no idea what you mean. Oh, you're talking about movies, right? Where you hear the music in the background of the movie.
No, I'm pretty sure he's talking about other things.
Wow, chicka wow wow.
I know damn well what he's talking about. But yeah.
What's a song by The Offspring that I should know that might rekindle my memory?
No, the girls say I'm pretty fry for a white guy.
Right guy, yeah. There we go. That's kicked
And
me
yes,
into gear.
Stacy Mama's got it going on.
That was Stacy. Shit, I can't remember. I'm blanking right now. Fountains of Wayne.
Did you guys
I knew
ever
I'd get it.
Did you guys ever get the streets over in the US? Dry your eyes, mate.
I
No,
think I did.
I don't.
I know it's hard to hear, but there's plenty more fish in the sea.
Yeah, I've heard that song. Yeah, I think it made it over here.
They were big for like 1 year. They were all the rage over here for like 1 year.
That's kind of like two bands that sounded almost exactly the same. There was Weezer and Wheatus. Weezer was the more popular.
Oh, yeah.
Wheatus started coming over here and with some of their big stuff. With I believe Teenage Dirtbag is what put them on the map.
Teenage Dirtbag. I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby.
Yeah, you know the song. And
I used to sing that. I used to sing that to my teenage stepson all the time, just to drive him nuts.
I think my favorite song is when the girl's singing, and it's actually the guy doing the girl voice. It's like, I got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, maybe. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe. Loser. I know. Beck. Beck is the one who sings Loser. Soy un perdedor. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? Yeah. Okay. Now everybody.
Da-da-da-da. Hey Jude.
Oh my gosh! I think we got a mashup in progress here. Hold on. Loser. Hey Jude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! We just stumbled into something. Give me a couple.
I saw the craziest. I saw the craziest mashup. It was Katy Perry and Imagine Dragons.
Was that Believer and Dark Horse, wasn't it?
It was Hear Me. I think it was Hear Me Roar and
Roar
and it might have been Believer. But yeah, the two songs just perfectly line up. It's amazing. It's a really good mashup.
Dark Horse would have been harder because it doesn't exactly line up.
Yeah, it was the Katy Perry one was You're Gonna Hear Me Roar. And I can't remember which Imagine Dragon ones it was. But it might have been Believer. I don't know.
Then I saw her face.
Now I'm a believer. Not that believer.
I know.
You make me a believer. A believer.
I cannot listen to that anymore. It reminds me of dirtier times.
Dirty. Gotta get down and dirty.
Christina Aguilera.
You are beautiful, no matter what they say.
Was Pink.
Pink.
Beautiful. What you were saying?
No, Beautiful was Christina Aguilera. It wasn't Pink.
No, yeah, that's right. That's right. I always get those two mixed up on that one. Because right there, at that moment, they sound almost exactly alike for some reason.
I never confuse those two. I have to say.
I don't know. If you listen to the vocal cadence of some of them versus, and the style almost, it, to a point, matches up in some aspects.
You have to keep in mind also that a lot of songwriters will write for different people. So it could be sung by one person or another and still work. So they could have, similar songwriters, similar styles.
It's kind of like Bob Rock and Max Martin being like the brainchilds of like half the pop music early 2000s.
Carlos says Meatloaf has the heart.
Meatloaf is at heart.
Only Meatloaf could make a song from a warning sticker on a car wing mirror. Like, where'd you get that kind of Where'd you get that kind of inspiration? How do you fit that into a song? Objects in the rear view mirror may appear closer than they are. That was on his Bat Out of Hell 2. The one with I Would Do Anything for Love. It was on that album.
Which
But I
that
won't do
song was
that.
great.
Yeah, I Would Do Anything for Love is a great song.
That song was everywhere.
Yeah, it was. I would do anything for love. I go
And
right
now you
to
got that
heaven
song in my head. Dun, dun.
Prince.
And yes, he did.
Prince wrote a lot of songs. I never really liked much of Prince's music or his songs, but as a hobby musician, I have always had the utmost respect for Prince as a musician. Even though I didn't like his stuff, I could see the immense amount of talent and skill that went into the stuff that he wrote.
That's the way I am.
I mean, you know,
I didn't care for it at the time. I understand it now more as an adult than I did back then. And now I have a lot more respect for it. Now that I actually understand it. I mean,
yeah.
Some songs, do you get it? I mean, some songs you just have to grow into.
Mm-hmm.
Like when that came, I was rather young. So I didn't get all the raspberry berets and the
yeah. I mean,
cop
general
and cream. Yeah.
Rule of thumb for Prince, just it's a song about sex, and then you can't go wrong, really. You know. But yeah,
No, I get it all.
I always had respect for him as an artist. I just didn't like his music. But like I say, there've always been one or two songs of his that I quite liked. Raspberry Beret's one that I quite like. And I have to say, I like the Batman album a lot more than most people would like to admit that they do. But I think there's some pretty decent songs on.
Dude, that thing's gold.
You know,
I love that thing.
Party Man. Party Man's a good song. I like Party Man. You know,
it's like one of the only songs he doesn't really push the whole sex out angle too much.
Yeah.
At all.
Waiting, that's a bad song. Still, I keep Vicky waiting. Vicky Vale. Who's that girl? Vicky Vale. Yeah, there's some decent songs on that album.
You know, there were some actually good songwriters. I didn't necessarily like the songs they picked for themselves, but you know, they proved they could write because other people were doing their songs great.
Oh yeah, and like
I know Diane Warren wrote a lot.
Oh yeah.
And like Darth says, there are some that you just grow into as you get older. Simon and Garfunkel is one that I've gotten into more as I've gotten older. I've learned to appreciate them.
That's the way I was with Simon and Garfunkel. But what really got me into Simon and Garfunkel hardcore was the Disturbed cover of The Sound of Silence.
The Disturbed cover?
Oh my gosh, that cover is just... Oh.
It's like it really is a work of art, that cover.
For somebody with a metal background like myself, actually, it really hits that darker tone that Simon and Garfunkel wanted to portray, but just didn't quite hit that note.
Well, I think the original and the Disturbed cover are two different viewpoints of the same
Oh yes,
story.
they're two different beasts entirely. I agree with you.
I think Simon and Garfunkel told the story the way they wanted to tell it, with the texture and the color that they wanted to tell it, and then obviously being from his metal background, Disturbed Darius, I think his name is.
David Draymond.
David Draymond, yeah. Obviously, coming from the metal background, he focused more on the kind of the darker side, the self-reflection, and the kind of the warning that comes out of it all. And he brings it from a slightly different perspective. So it's it's the same story, just from two very different viewpoints that have two very different, valid kind of messages behind them, if you will. You know.
It almost sounds like David Draymond himself is classically trained. If you actually listen to him on that song, you can
Yeah, he does
actually
get
hear some
pipes.
operato there.
Yeah, that man got some pipes on him, all right.
I think
But
you'd
yeah,
be surprised at some people's music background. You know, they don't show it, but it's there.
I
Like,
was.
like for instance, my show choir teacher was classically trained,
Hmm.
so a lot of my vocal stylings are operatic at best.
I was I was gutted when Freddie Mercury was picked at the post for the Olympic anthem by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Like they both wrote a song specifically for, I don't remember what year it was. It would have been like in the early 90s, I think. Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote a song to represent the Olympics. It was in Barcelona that year. And Freddie Mercury wrote one, and it was called Barcelona. And it was a beautiful operatic orchestral piece, and he sang it with Montserrat Caballé. And it was way better than Lloyd Webber's piece of wet lettuce that he wrote. And I was just so gutted. If you ever get a chance to listen to that song, it's just called Barcelona by Freddie Mercury.
I've heard Barcelona.
It's an amazing song, and it's like
It's
it tells a story, and it's like the story of Barcelona, and it was so fitting for the Olympics, and they just turned him down because he didn't have Lloyd Webber's pedigree.
I believe they put
Fantastic song.
that song on Pepsi CD. You send in like UPC points, and I think I had that CD. I think I had that when I was growing up. I don't know what happened to that thing. I had all the Pepsi CDs,
Yeah,
and that one you could send to get from Surge. I had it too. That's how I knew about who sang the song in the bar on Sin City where Hardigan comes in at the butt end of his when he steps in to go see Nancy.
I don't remember the song. I've seen the film a few times, but
Everybody with
never
a
really.
high boat, so that song. It's called Absurd by Fluke.
Does it sound a little bit like the theme song for the Sopranos TV show?
Judge Dredd found dead in the middle of Snoopy's bed outside Twitty Pies. But
I don't know. I'd have to watch the movie again. It's a difficult watch, that movie. I mean, it's a great movie, but it's a tough watch.
I love that movie.
They did a sequel, but the sequel never really grabbed me.
I think the only thing good about that was seeing Eva Green naked.
Well, that's always a plus. I don't remember Eva Green being in. Are you talking about Sin City 2? Because I don't
Yeah.
remember her being in the first one. It was Carla Gugino was in the first one.
Yeah, she was in there, and I think let's see, let's go
Jessica
over the
Alba
cast.
was in it as well.
Yes, Jessica Alba. There was Rosario Dawson, Devon Coy. Let's see, Brittany Murphy, Josh Hartnett, Bruce Willis,
Mickey Rourke.
Rutger Hauer. Yes, Mickey.
Wasn't Elijah Wood in it as well?
Yes, yes, and Nick Stahl. Can't forget Nick Stahl. Nick Stahl played that yellow bastard.
Yeah, that movie ruined my memories of Frodo Baggins forever.
Frodo
I
was
could
a hooker cannibal eater. Cannibal
never
hooker eater.
see I could never see Frodo the same way again.
Frodo went downhill after he went through the Grey Havens, ladies and gentlemen.
After Frodo's best mate Sam got married, things just went downhill. Frodo became a loner, ended up killing and cannibalizing endless numbers of hookers.
Yeah, Eastland Burrow's got a point. There's a topic. Bringing it to you live from the Hasser Cam, film at 11.
Yeah, the topic is any old bullshit you can think of.
That's pretty much what it is at this point.
Our default topic today is community, but we've kind of been over that one, I think.
That's a good song. It's been a while by Stained.
I don't know that one.
I think that even though the topic is strayed, it's still in the conversation because we are keeping it about community. We're talking about different things that we like as a community. We're talking about music right now as a main topic. But even though we may not like all the same music, we appreciate music.
Ain't happy, feeling sad, I got sunshine.
Gorillas.
In a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. Do you ever hear Blur?
I like Blur.
Blur, 'cause it was Damon Albarn that went on to form the Gorillas, I think. Blur did some great ones. Song 1, woo, ba 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 ba.
Song number 2.
Yeah, Park Life. Dun, dun, dun,
I believe.
Park Life.
It was on one of the Rock Band games. I can't remember which one it was. There's been so many guitar and Rock Band games. I can't believe Kiss made it on Rock Band, Guitar Hero for like a third time with Love Gun.
I got the Aerosmith's Rock Band game. It's like all Aerosmith tracks. I wasn't all that impressed with it, to be honest.
Oh, I like Guitar Hero Aerosmith. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I prefer the ensemble ones. I think Guitar Hero, it was either 2 or 3 was my favorite. I mean, I'm going back 20 years now. 15 years, I guess.
I like it when they started incorporating the whole band and doing the world tours when they first started the whole band thing.
Yeah.
That was a fun game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I've got to say, and maybe it's just because too much of a good thing, but I always preferred the compilation versions of the games rather than the whole band ones.
That was one of the compilation ones. It had different bands, different songs from different bands.
Yeah.
Because that one also had let's see, what was it? Paramore's Misery Business.
Oh, Paramore. I used to love playing that.
And that song, I think you did the vocals on and got more than 3 stars. You could unlock Haley Williams in that game.
Yeah.
To play as your vocalist.
Was it Hurricane, the Paramore song? I remember a song called Hurricane that I used to love playing. I don't know if that was.
Let me check. I don't think it was. I'll double check for you. I don't remember it. I don't think Paramore.
But I remembered playing Paramore as well. I remember them being one of the bands on here.
I think their albums of theirs is the Ride album. If you actually want to check that album out. which has Misery Business, and I think it also.
It was
Nothing compares to a quiet evening alone.
it was Guitar Hero that introduced me to Wayward Son. I'd never heard that song before, and as soon as I heard it, I just fell in love.
That was okay. That Kansas Carry On Wayward Son. That was the original
Yeah.
Guitar Hero. It was
Yeah.
either 1 or 2. I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was the first. I think it was the first one. I'm pretty sure it was the first one.
Yeah, it was the first one because it also had Boston's More Than a Feeling.
Yeah, and these were rearranged. They weren't the original tracks. They were basically they were covers. But the Guitar Hero version of Wayward Son is a really really good version.
It is a good
Yeah.
version.
It's pretty rocking.
I love a rock band's cover version of Don't Fear the Reaper. That thing rocks.
Yeah, Guitar Hero.
It don't cut it off like the radio does. It don't cut out that middle solo because that thing's longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, but cutting
That
it out
thing's
would
almost.
defeat the purpose of the game, right? You
Oh
gotta have
yeah,
that in there.
yeah. You've got to have that guitar solo coming in with those drums.
Yeah, I miss playing Guitar Hero. But then I got PSVR and I got Beat Saber. I fucking love Beat Saber.
I have not had an experience with Beat Saber, sadly enough to say. I'd love to play some Beat Saber.
It's amazing, dude. It's so much fun. And I actually, blowing my own trumpet here, I got really, really good Beat Saber. Sadly, my PSVR is broken now, so I can't play my VR games on it. But yeah, if you check out anyone that's interested, if you check out my channel, I've got some of my videos up there, me playing Beat Saber. And I'm playing it at like Expert Plus with invisible notes. And
Invisible notes?
Yeah, they call it ghost notes, I think, in game. But yeah,
wow.
If you check out my channel, you see the what was the name of the song? It's been like 2.5 years, 3 years, but there was one song on it that was like renowned for being the toughest song on it, and I beat it at Expert Plus Ghost Notes. What's the name of the fucking thing? I don't know, but it's there on my channel anyway. The title of the video is I killed the beast because it's like a beast of a song to do. And I was so pleased when I actually finally did it. But yeah, Beat Saber, and it's a great workout too. It's great cardio. It's kind of like it's a little bit like yoga-ish. Playing it, so it's Beat Saber is fantastic. But it's on every VR system. It's on your Oculus and your PSVR and all the other various ones that are out there. There's hundreds of them now. Hundreds of systems.
They played the Hurricane Festival, if that's what you're wondering. Paramore did.
No, there was a song. It might not have been Paramore. If it wasn't, it was on the same game, the same Guitar Hero as Paramore, and it was a song called Hurricane. It was more of a ballady one, more of a rock ballad, but it was a great
Was
song.
it Scorpions Rock You Like a Hurricane?
No, I know that one. Everybody knows that one. Here I am, bum, bum,
Yeah.
rocking like a hurricane. No, I think it was called Hurricane. It was something to do with hurricanes or tornadoes or storms, but I'm pretty sure it was
Monsoon.
Monsoon. That's it. Monsoon.
Monsoon's by Tokyo. I'll type it in the chat because it's not spelled.
Yeah, Monsoon was a great song. I used to love playing that one. It's a little bit sad. I had a friend that died around about the time that I was into that particular Guitar Hero, and for reasons unbeknownst to me, that song just always made me think of her. So it's
actually one of my favorite songs to sing. Actually, on World Tour. That's actually my warm-up song. Monsoon.
It's a good song, yeah. Tokyo Hotel. There you go. It's a
I could
nice, and it's a
actually
nice
sing it.
kind of.
Here's the real cool thing: I could sing in English and in the German.
Oh wow, cool! I didn't even know there was a German version.
Yeah,
It's kind of
Tokyo
a
Hotel's a German band.
okay. It's a nice. It's kind of a relaxing song to play on Guitar Hero as well. It's not necessarily easy, I wouldn't say, but it's one of the more kind of intermediate difficulty ones. And it's just really, it's got such a nice flow to it when you play it on the guitar controller.
Thought process. Got a fever? The only cure is more cowbell. Yeah,
More cowbell.
that's funny you mentioned that. I'll give you a little trivia about Blue Oyster Cult and Don't Fear the Reaper. They didn't really have the cowbell in Don't Fear the Reaper until the final edit. They're like, this thing needs something. What is it? Like, put in a cowbell. Put in a cowbell. No, the record company said it's too freaking stupid to put in a cowbell. But they fought for it and put a cowbell.
Is that
That's how.
where the SNL sketch came from? Was that the inspiration for it?
That's exactly where the SNL sketch came from.
That's so cool. I got a fever. I'm thinking we need more cowbell. I'm terrible at Christopher Walken. He's just got one of those magnetic voices, though. Have you seen those videos on YouTube? Christopher Walken through, where it's a sounder like playing video games. It's so funny, and he does. There's Morgan Freeman comes in on it as well, and they have Christopher Walken and Morgan Freeman playing co-op on like Borderlands. Complete parody, but it's so funny.
Yeah. I'm going to address Resolute Germ here a second. He likes best about the commercial Metallica version. First of all, it was Guitar Hero Metallica. Tony Hawk. He's talking about the commercial, but Tony Hawk and a couple of other douchebags got tied to a tree. Those weren't random douchebags. Those were actually Bam Margera and the Element Crew. If you actually look close and look up Bam Margera and the Element Crew that hung out with Bam Margera, it's basically the Jax crew. If you actually look at the guys on the tree,
it was Jackass.
it was the Jackass crew. I know the commercial. Yeah. I used to watch, like, when I lived by myself, when I really just wanted to turn my brain off and just laugh at something absolutely abhorrently stupid, I'd watch Jackass.
I always thought Jackass was like a guy thing.
And Viva La Bam.
Yeah. And my missus said to me, it was only a couple of months back. My missus said to me, "Oh, I was watching Jackass last night," and I was like, "What? You watched Jackass?" Like, she's not a prude or anything, but it's totally not in her periphery. I would have thought, but she totally surprised me. She's like, "Yeah, I love Jackass."
Of course, Steve-O and Wee Man went to clown school together. Did you know that?
I didn't know they went to the clown school. No, well, I think I might have heard that Wee Man went to clown school, but not Steve-O.
Wee Man and Steve-O went to clown school together. They were in clown school together.
All right.
That's how they met. And I think Chris Pontius was in clown school with them.
Whenever I hear Chris Pontius's name, I just get flashbacks of the snake. And you remember that one? It's one of the Jackass movies where he's got
the snake,
the
mouse on his stuff. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, just gives me shivers just thinking about it. Yeah. I love Jackass. Did you see Knoxville's movie about the pleasure park? I forgot the name. Adventure Point or Adventure Park or something like that.
No, I have not seen that one. I have seen The Ringer. That was hilarious.
Yeah, Adventure Park's a pretty good movie. I mean it's hyper realized, but it is based on a true life story. But yeah,
And you can't
it's
really
a decent movie.
cancel um Steve or Johnny Knoxville for starring in The Ringer for one reason. That movie was actually condoned by the special or was actually certified by the Special Olympics. Believe it.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah, you guys didn't know that?
I've not
Mm-mm.
actually even heard of The Ringer. I had no idea it was a thing.
Yeah, they actually sponsored that movie.
I'm gonna have to check that movie out now.
There are real, there are actual real people with real disabilities in that movie.
I'm gonna have to watch it now. I wouldn't say like I'm a fan of Knoxville, but I usually watch the stuff that he's in. Did I just
One of
see
them did
someone?
die actually. Resolute term.
Yeah,
I
it was
believe Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn.
the ginger beard guy.
That's why. That's actually why Bam Margera went off his rocker because Ryan Dunn was his best friend, and he just lost his shit after that, so to speak.
Yeah, that's very sad. I think it was a car crash. I think wasn't it?
Yeah, he's drunk driving on the way home from Bam's place, and I think hits swerved off the road somehow and hit something.
It's an unfortunate cautionary tale.
Sorry about that.
No need to be.
Well, I didn't know if it came through, but my alarm went off, so I just
Nope.
apologize in advance.
I
Nope.
didn't hear an alarm, so
Also, I did catch it.
Yeah.
yeah. Thought processes, reliving the Steve-O toy car up the bum escapade. I think one of my favourites is the catapult outhouse. That one just I can't imagine just being in a vertical catapult, let alone being catapulted in a plastic box full of piss and shit. I just
I've had one tipped over on me, so I could just imagine it slightly launched into the air
I just
in
thinking of those
a.
boys.
Okay.
Either that or just they were just suckers for pain.
It's the old adrenaline, isn't it? Thrill seeking. We had a
I'm
very
just
similar show in the UK called Dirty Sanchez. Bunch of Welsh lads doing pretty much the same kind of things.
that means something totally different over here.
Yeah, I am familiar with what the connotations of the name is, but that's what they call themselves. Could have been worse. They could have called themselves Cleveland Steamer.
Oh man.
I always thought that was a pie.
Yes. If if you thought that was a pie, I bet you your girlfriend gorilla glued her hair.
That's a good way
Oh
to make
wait, that
money,
actually
apparently.
happened. Never mind. Scratch that.
She got like $120,000 from that.
And she donated it all to charity.
Well, yeah, if she didn't, she would have got fucking lynched. So I don't think she had much choice on that one.
Oh yeah, that was a
Carlo,
wise decision to do.
yeah. Carlo says a nail through the thingy is so much worse than being in a porta potty. That would take
Ooh.
me a while. If I had a gun to my head and was told to choose between those two things, it would take me a while to decide. I don't
I
mind
think I'd
either way.
rather take porta potty. Launch me in a catapult porta potty, please. I'd like
I
to
don't
keep
know.
a
I mean,
thingy
people
intact.
people do pierce their thingy all the time.
Not like that, they don't. All the
No,
way through?
no.
I don't think so.
I think if I remember correctly, actually, putting a nail through the thingy is something that the Dirty Sanchez crew actually did. That might be what Carlo is referring to.
Oh, is that what it is?
I'm
No.
pretty sure.
It sounds
I'm
like
pretty
some
sure.
Pain Olympic stuff.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure one of them nailed his doodad to a wooden plank.
Oh, no.
Oh, for go!
Yeah, there we go. Yes, Carlos. I remembered right.
Uh, okay. Topic change.
Please.
You know, you can build a community by nailing your penis to a wooden plank.
No, hell no, no way.
No. Bonanza.
I know what a Prince Albert is.
Yes,
They're
I think
talking
we
about
all
far
do.
worse.
I think we all
Yes.
do, Jeremy.
We all do. You ever hear of a Jacob ladder?
Only the one out of the Bible. Anything else, I don't really want to know.
That's the only one I've heard of. Please don't tell me about any others.
It's about on the same principle as the Prince Albert, but it's all the way down.
Oh, okay, I get you. So
Oh,
Like a
it's a
ladder.
family of rings. It's a family of
my
rings,
god!
or a family
Holy-
of bars.
Now we got hit. We've officially made Captain Trek the mayor of Cringeville.
I think he's about to pass out.
Oh dear God. Okay. Yeah. Yvette, come up with something. If you're still here, Germ, please. You're fine. Come on.
Come on up, Germ.
Germ, come up or say something in the chat. Yeah, you can come. Carlo, please. You're more than welcome to come up with a topic. Please.
I think Carlo was actually just talking. I think he was just talking about Queen Victoria's husband, that Prince Albert.
Yes. That one. Yes.
Yes, we were discussing royalty.
They all suck.
Talking about the British royal family and not anything remotely related to nailing your penis to a wooden plank.
What about this whole Meghan Markle thing? Have you paying attention to that?
I don't care about the royal family. I mean, I've heard it because you can't get away from it, but I have zero interest in the royal family. They're just decoration to me.
Now, is it me, or does it seem like they all have planks up their ass?
Depends what's nailed to them, Cappers.
Oh my God!
Okay, 47 Yorktown. When somebody says, don't Google something, that means don't Google something.
Google it.
He's got your search history now.
What on earth is that on Yorktown's thumbnail on his icon? It looks like SpongeBob SquarePants with a hole through his middle, wearing a sailor's outfit, or a dirty piece of toast with the middle cut out. I don't know. It's a weird picture, whatever it is.
Well, we know who Harry's mother is. There's a fair good guess who his
We just don't know what his
biological
daddy
father
is.
is.
We just don't know who his daddy is.
Oh,
I
there's a lot of good guesses about that one.
Yeah, I mean they can gloss over it all they want, but I don't think
All right.
Harry looks nothing like his brother or his
Nope.
alleged dad. But he does
Since
look an
we're
awful
on,
lot like a certain butler.
since we're on royalty and things, I've got a question. Was there ever really a Princess Stephanie?
Yeah,
Like a
Princess
Princess
Stephanie
Stephanie of Monaco?
Monaco, not Luxembourg. I was going to say Luxembourg. Yeah, Princess
So
Stephanie.
that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I remember that from my stepmother was an alien, and I'm like,
Yeah,
so
Monaco.
she.
I don't know if it still is, but I'm pretty sure Monaco was an independent state.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that was real because usually they put things in movies that aren't really real.
No, as far as I'm aware, Princess Stephanie Monaco is a real thing. Yeah, Jerem, I agree with you that Prince Harry is definitely the son of a butler and not the son of a prince.
The gardener is identical.
I
I
can
don't
tell
know.
you this much: it wasn't her husband that she got it on with, then yeah. Mm-mm.
Well, you know what they used to do in the olden days when a Prince of Royalty was born out of wedlock. They used to they used to nail his todger to a wooden plank.
Mm. All right, I'm going back to 3.
Sorry, I'm having too much fun with that one.
Nail some other people to walls. Maybe nail theirs to a plank or something. To a wall.
And Yvette says, "I'm going to christen my new glass tonight." Awesome.
Nice.
What you filling it with? Baby Sham, Blue Nun, Buckfast, all top quality booze. Carlos says, "Revenge for Camilla." I don't know why Prince Charles decided he wanted to marry a horse, but guess there's no accounting for taste.
Oh my god.
Wait. You think she looks like a horse?
No, I don't think she looks like a horse. I know she looks like a horse. I've seen her. She looks like a
Okay.
horse.
I don't know. I don't see it.
We are talking Camilla, not Diana.
Oh, Camilla's.
Camilla.
Never mind.
Camilla,
Okay.
the
Never
second
mind.
wife.
Never mind.
Second
Shutting up.
place.
I
Silver
thought
medal.
about Camilla, so I'm just gonna zip.
No, Diana was beautiful, but Charles' second wife, Camilla, was she's a horse. Or as we say in these parts, she's an absolute munter. Resolute says,
Let's see
"Don't
here now.
insult horses."
How about this? A horse, of course, unless of course
That horse is Mr. Ed.
this famous horse is
It's
married
the famous
to royal
Mr. Ed.
blood. Yes.
You haven't told us, Yvette. What are you going to christen your glass with?
And Resolute Germ says Blackpool is the Vegas of the UK. And Resolute Germ said, don't insult horses like that.
Oh,
Those
Yvette's
are
off for a
just
cheeky
creatures.
Nando's. Yvette wants a cheeky Nando's. Cheeky Nando's. Cheeky Nando's.
Come on up.
Mm. You need to
Die.
be on the panel. You need to be on the panel, Yvette. And I can
Come
go
on
to
up.
bed. Represent Britain while I'm asleep. So come on, Bucky's taking bets. What's Yvette drinking out of her new glass? Come on, people, place your bets. What's she drinking? My money's on Baby Sham. Cappers, what do you think she's drinking?
Let's see here. Probably a single malt.
What do you think, Darth?
That's what I was about to say. Single malt whiskey.
Single malt, huh? Come on, Yvette. Tell us what you're drinking.
It is
What
a glass
else?
for drinking.
What else do you use a glass for? I mean, you have glasses for seeing through. Germ says it's nothing but the finest champagne. You know, unless it actually comes from the Champagne region in France, you're not legally supposed to call it champagne. It's supposed to be sparkling wine.
Correct.
Yeah, I never really understood that. Other than the region itself.
Yeah, it's just a Ponzi thing, isn't it? We call the region of Champagne, so we want to hold claim to the name of Champagne. That's all it is. It's bragging rights.
It's a drinking glass. So yes.
It's a drinking glass for drinking out of, but she's not going to divulge. I think she's keeping a dirty secret. It's obviously something very lowbrow that she doesn't want us to know about. Sambuca. She's drinking Sambuca. Rum and Coke. My uncle's favourite tipple. Rum and Coke. That's what she's drinking.
Oh, I'll take the. Personally, I'll take Dr. Pepper and whiskey. You know, or bourbon.
I'd take Dr. Whiskey with a splash of Southern Comfort. I'm not big on whiskey, but I do like a little bit of Southern Comfort.
You think Southern Comfort is?
I know, but it's
It's
different. It's a different beast to standard whiskey.
Okay, what do you think a glass is, Carlo?
Yeah. Oh, I've had White Lightning. It tastes like dog vomit.
Should I ask how you know what that tastes like?
Well, I haven't tasted dog's vomit, but I have tasted my own vomit, so I just imagine dog's vomit as just being a little bit worse than that. That's pretty much what White Lightning tastes like.
Strawberry vodka. Don't ask.
No, if you taste real White Lightning, can't hardly taste anything because it just woo.
Yvette, you don't have to put it in caps. We know you're using your new glass. We want to know what you're drinking out of it. Get with the program, love. Putting Moonraker in it. What's Moonraker? Is that a wine, a vodka, a rum? Don't give a shit. We stopped talking about Royals 10 minutes ago, Yvette. Catch up. You're behind in the stream, love. I think she's playing catch up on the stream. She's probably playing it at 1.5 speed to get it up to scratch.
That
Way past that topic. So yes.
Yeah, I've got to go. I got an emergency over here.
I got a bottle of scotch.
Okay, well, since you need to go anyhow, and Aberjam, you need to get to bed. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a stream. I do want to thank everybody for joining me. I do want to thank you, Darthaster and Aberjam, for joining me on the panel. So let's see here. She said, got a nice black top for lacquer. Wink, wink.
What conversation is she having? Where is she on our timeline?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Well, we'll find out tonight.
Just leave the stream running for the next hour when we've all gone to bed, and eventually she'll catch up and we'll be able to watch the chat. Good grief. But it was a pleasure as always, Cappers. Sorry for holding up your farewells.
Oh, not a problem at all. You all have a great night, a great day, great evening, whatever time of day it is. Thank you all for coming, and talk to you later.
Have
Bye.
a great